post-op top surgery. This month has been very interesting. I am surprised. I feel like it shouldn't be. I feel like I'm past this. I want to get over it. Before I explain some things that are going to be happening, let me just give you some backstory. You guys know I've been moving, a lot of stuff. You guys know I've had a crazy time with recovery and how mentally and physically it has been extremely challenging. Which you don't know, and some other stuff that I was hesitant to even put out there. It's just gotten progressively worse. So basically what's happened is you already know about, my left side, and it's gotten a little bit better. There's still everything. There's still the lump parts. A week and a half ago, my left nipple exploded. Like, it exploded with pus. Periodically what I'll do is I will check, because I have ingrown hairs and my body was actually rejecting either that or some of the stitches previously. So I'll check to make sure that I'm not having, anything out of the ordinary. And what's difficult is on my left side, because of the swelling, because of the lymph nodes, I can only see so much. So I can see right now to here. So I can only see the tip of my nipple. Right here. So from here up I can see all this. Well, what happened was I was about to get in the shower, I was looking down, examining everything, making sure, everything looked normal for what it should be. I looked down and I'm like, what the hell is this? So if you look, there's like this bump right under here. And I was like, that's kind of weird. So I went to touch it, and then all of a sudden, a dime size of pus just exploded, and not just out of that spot, it exploded out of another spot underneath here, which was extremely reassuring, being 2.5 months post-op. I've talked about concerns in the past periodically with my doctor. I told you all since my reveal I had issues with what I saw. It's now been a mix of that and other things to where we're actually taking steps forward to go. It's been complicated because I have been up forth and telling them everything. There was a priority as far as the wedding and everything else, but of course I still wanted to recover safely, appropriately, and do everything by the book, which I have. But from the beginning I told them, hey, just so you know, there's this problem. Hey, just so you know, there's this problem. Hey, so this has happened. That way they're updated, and if anything happens, when I come to them in the future, they're able to, relay off those notations. From the beginning, when I was having problems and I was having a lot of pain, that was, in comparison to others, different. I experienced difficulties lifting later than everyone else. I was really concerned with a couple of other things. Brought that to their concern. They kind of just nonchalant. And I get it, doctors are busy, they have their own things that they have to do. So I mentioned revision at a beginning part of the process. It freaked them out. They kind of just hushed us down. Well, now basically what's happening is they tried to schedule me this morning for an urgent appointment to talk about it and to see it and to now maybe go through the revision process. So I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. A lot of mixed feelings. One of them is upset. I'm upset because we moved further and now it's an 8-hour drive there instead of 2 to 3, which it was. I'm also upset because I've told them the same problems from the beginning. I'm also upset because a lot of the problems that happened was because I wasn't given proper guidance, or I kept getting contradicting information. Different people were telling me different things. I felt like I wasn't prepared in the most appropriate way. So I have a lot of different feelings as far as being upset because I feel like it should have already been done and over with. And with that being said, it puts me in a fork in the road because I am at the option to where I can say screw it and screw my doctor and just go with what I have, work it out, do everything that I have, and kind of put it on the back burner. Or I can fight for what I have because even though my insurance covered a portion of it, it didn't cover a lot of it. There was a lot of problems that happened. I had to take out a loan. I worked really hard to get the surgery done when I did. because of the wedding, because of everything else. So I have the part of me that's like, don't be stupid. You need to fight for this while it's covered under your insurance, while you have the opportunity, while trans healthcare is somewhat reasonable now. And then I have the other part of me where it's like, well, it's not that bad, so deal with it. So I'm kind of at this fork in the road because naturally my doctor is trying to tell me, don't worry about it, because they don't want to do the procedure again. They don't want to go through it. They're trying to basically persuade me to be happy with my results when I'm not. And that's what happened in my last doctor's appointment, when they're compared me to looking good in comparison to others. So it's kind of this like weird playing field right now where I'm stuck in the middle between the doctors. I'm stuck in the middle between what I should do and it's kind of, and everything else. So I keep trying to remind myself that I fought for a reason and I'm still fighting. And if something were to happen 10 years from now, or maybe not that long, but if I don't get it fixed now and I put it to the back burner, I don't want to deal with that regret. I feel like that regret and that resentfulness was also something that was pushing me so hard to get top surgery, so it would kind of just defeat the purpose if I was to put it down for later when I need to focus on that time to get other surgeries. And it's just, it's frustrating because I know perceived from the outside it looks great. It doesn't seem like it's that. There's other things that are worse, and I'm that type of person. I'm always like, well, that person has it worse than you. So for me, you know, to look down and see what I see a problem within myself, but it could be worse. And I have to constantly, like, wake up, because the size that I am right now, it's the exact same size as my right side was prior to surgery. So even though it might not seem like that big of a deal, to other people, looking down, seeing what I see, that might not be a big deal to some people, you know, my body, my channel, my whatever. But most importantly, it's like, I remember having this conversation with myself in the mirror when I first thought about getting top surgery and the time frame relating to everything else, and I genuinely was at a pivotal point where I said, hey, I could go into fitness, I could completely work it out. My body is like right at that threshold to where I could work it out if I wanted to. Now, I knew with how I am that if I was to do that, there would still be a couple of things that I wouldn't be happy with myself, but that would be okay because I would choose that path. So I'm at this stepping stone now where it's like, hey, I can work this out. But that's not the point. The point is that I got top surgery, it should have been done, and now I'm at a point where the doctor is trying to trick things by saying, you should be happy because your results are better here. You should be happy because in comparison to other guys, you look better than you did before. Like, that's not kind of, that doesn't help. Top surgery, recovery, 3-month postmark has been very mental. Physical changes, I've been very, like, tight. And actually what's interesting is, like, so the pus happened a week and a half ago, and it happened for like 2 or 3 days, it stopped, and then the right side last night started acting up. So I don't know what the hell is going on. It just happened out of the blue. A couple of other things, it's super sore. And what I will tell my fiance is that sometimes I feel like I'm getting like constant like titty twisters. Like my left nipple, it's like constantly like twisting pain. So the past couple of days I've been pretty restricted as far as like what I can do, what I should do, and just kind of like that awkward process to figure it out because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm super happy with my nipples. A lot of things could have been worse. So that was my 3-month post-op update, and I hope that you could relate. I hope that you're not experiencing this in a way that you have to relate, but if you are, I hope that it kind of brought some exposure to the situation. Maybe it will help. Make sure that you think of things completely 110% when you're thinking about getting any types of surgery. Remember, no matter how much you prepare for it, there's still some other things that could happen. Remember, if you feel like you're putting everything out there and your doctor's not respecting you, or you kind of feel like you don't know what to do, you're not alone. I have a tendency of sometimes when I get overwhelmed just like completely shutting down and kind of putting everything on my own load, and I don't want you to do that. I'm here to let myself know that it's not healthy and to let you know that as well.